telecom, especially onto revenue assurance and fraud management solutions.
Okay.
We wanted to be leader of the industry, leader in terms of not on the revenue and the number of clients in our cap, but we really wanted to be leader in getting the credibility from our customers and serving and providing solutions beyond their expectations.
Okay.
That our missions where we really wanted to satisfy and keep our customers always happy and getting in return. And the next one, I would just introduce all the core team of Vekomi. The first one you can see on the top, he is Chandra Shekhar, who is the CEO and one of the founders of Vekomi and the head. And towards the left top, it's me, Chakradhar, who heads business and operations. And top right is Satish Kumala, who is our technical head and he's a solution architect for all the products what we have. And followed by Pawan, who heads the development and the product. And finally, the handsome hunk, you can see Satish, uh, who heads our business and operations also. So, and in a nutshell, just to explain what Vekomi is like, as of now, we are around 40 operating from India and also Sri Lanka, which is again from a neighboring country. And we are specialized in telecom, mainly focusing on fraud management and revenue assurance. And in our roadmap, we do have a business intelligence system, which would be a complete suite, uh, like it's like a suite in one's product. And we do take up development and testing solutions and even managed services for telcos uh, and even the migrating systems from the legacy to the new and enhancing the systems, upgrading the systems. So we are specialized and skillful in all those activities. And to mention few of our clients, these are telecom customers we do have at this point of time. One is you can see Dialog. He is from Sri Lanka, the leader of GSM, and you can say like on the communications industry, he's a leader, almost owning 40% of the total population as his customers, and followed by Lanka Bell. Lanka Bell is again a local operator. We are providing solutions on revenue assurance and fraud management, and we are in the phase of implementing the system. We are in the process of implementing that system for Lanka Bell. And for Dialog, we are already in the process of giving services on revenue assurance. And the two others are our channel partners, one from East Asia, that is Brunei Darussalam. Hope you heard about Brunei, the king of Brunei, who was one among the richest few years back. So we are in the process of commercial evaluation with one of the leaders in Brunei, that is the Data Stream Technologies, for the same revenue assurance and fraud management solutions. And the last one is our partner in Sri Lanka, where we tie up with this guy and we do certain businesses, even handling Lanka Bell and other which are in our pipeline. Okay, now that is just a briefing about we and our company and our clients.
Okay.
And see, most of the solutions in the world would be are made up of very latest technologies, advanced technologies. But to maintain and to come up with these solutions, we really require a good, experienced and skillful team. Without team, even the best solution in the world would go in vain. So that is our strength, where most of us has more than 10 years of experience, especially only into telecom, and uh, who we have worked with global operators, to mention few, MTN from South Africa, and Verizon and AT&T from US. Mr. Chandrasekhar has worked with those guys. with those operators in US. And from in India, there's a big operator called Reliance Communications, Aircel, and in Sri Lanka, Dialog, and coming to African and towards Europe, I worked with San Marino Telecom, and down in African region again in Madagascar, I worked for Telma and Medacom, which is a Millicom group. So having worked with all these guys, the team really possesses the entire knowledge from switch to bill and thereafter, and even all the systems, BSS systems included in the telecom operations. And the team is also capable of migrating, as I explained, and upgrading the systems. And we are in the Kaizen. Kaizen in Japanese, you say like it's a continuous improving the skills and enhancing personal skills on the technology and the domain. So we, with all these trends and experience we possess, we are very familiar and experienced with the revenue assurance and fraud management, and also billing and charging systems, both prepaid and postpaid, and the internal systems involved, that is mediation, provisioning, even the partner billings, roaming partner billings, VAS systems. So all the systems, the team is totally equipped with all the processors, the functionalities, and the objectives of the system and the deliverables of the systems. Okay, so that's about our strengths and briefly about ourselves. And getting back to the solution and the product, currently the people, the service providers related to mobile services or landline services, or the people who are into long distance calling. See, when it comes to fraud, the main challenge would be preventing fraud. It would be a major challenge for them, where we really need to understand the psychological behavior and the approaches of a fraudster. So it would be a challenge for them to analyze and predict the fraudsters' initiatives, how we wanted to do fraud, and also like detecting fraud on fly in before it really happens. Even that would be a challenge due to technical issues and financial factors. And also like when it is on to the revenue assurance part, having dynamic KPIs for your analysis would be a real challenge. And even the cost, the best solutions doesn't come for a cheaper price, so we need to really invest so much amounts on procuring the systems. And also like going forward, any enhancements on the systems and requesting changes in the systems would be delivering those changes, implementing them would be a real challenge. Everything should fall in place as per our business requirements, okay, and the timelines. And considering the huge database, I mean the subscriber base and the data handling and the processing, analyzing the performance, scalability would be again and the storage again, it would be a major challenge for the service providers. And also like when it is on a technical side, continuous technology enhancements where you need to upgrade your network elements, systems, continuously change. These subscriber profiles keep changing. When it is really into the fraud activity, the fraudsters would keep changing their profiles, faking with the documents and positioning them as a loyal customer. So all these would be a challenge, and implementing the systems, taking long implementation cycles, everything would be a challenge for the service operators, ensuring the best services to their customers. Okay, keeping all these, considering all these challenges and gathering our experience and all, like we have come up with a product called Optimer. Optimer caters solutions for revenue assurance and also fraud management, as I briefed it previously. And the highlights of this product, it is totally built on open source technologies, where we really avoid any licensing charges on the softwares and even to maintain the system and the solutions. So using open source, advanced open source technologies is one of the highlights of our product. And the UI of the product is developed using HTML to give you more the rich feel and look and easy navigation and very user-friendly screens. Uh, the product contains all these latest technologies, and it is a platform independent which doesn't really depend on any of the operating systems. So the customer or the client, whoever, whatever operating system he is trying to use, the product is compatible on those operating systems, and it doesn't really require it really doesn't require on that what do you say, those servers, application servers, web servers. So system is intelligent enough to use by its own servers, with the architecture is designed in a such a way. So we can say we don't really require native servers, and it's a very lightweight server where it even the installation and implementing the product does not really require you can say like various steps to do it. It's just simple copy paste on the servers which you wanted. Even it doesn't register also in the operating system. It is very lightweight server, and it can be monitored remotely without even logging into the application, even without using UI of the application. It can be remotely monitored and operated, and it doesn't require any upgradation for next 3 years, since we are already using those latest advanced technologies in our system. And also cloud compatible based on abiding to the securities of the cloud wherever the operator is trying to implement. And we have tested on a private cloud, like ensuring all the securities of data and the privileges of the logins. And the unique unique feature of our product is smartphone enabled. The application can be accessed from your smartphones, and it can be you can use application from your whatever operations you do it from your desktops or laptops. You can do it from your mobiles also. So that is one of the unique feature we brought in this product. And coming to the functionalities, we do provide solutions for telephony fraud, IP fraud, payment, and the analysis of all the fraudulent activities. So giving the solutions like once the information is provided to the system, the subscriber segmentation is done. There is a provision to set rules and alarms, and all those alarms can be configured and it can be modified at any point of time. And while processing the data itself to give a effective fraud analysis and detections, we do have a correlation engine where the data is looked into so many factors. Like if I need to trace one of maybe a SIM cloning activity, where the system looks into various CDRs history and the profile, the customer profiles, and also the HLR, I mean the network element information. So the correlation engine is available in the system, and the reports, especially the reports, are made available in the system in a very dynamic way. So the user can always play with the system and play with the data as per his requirements. He has an option to choose from which source and what sort of fields he wanted to extract in a report, with various conditions and also his criteria of analyzing the data. So mainly I can say like reports are very dynamic in the systems, and the schedulers are available for automating all the processes and avoiding human intervention in operating and using the system. And again, the notification for all those alarms and any cases logged in the systems, it can be notified. So coming to revenue assurance part, as I said, like the main and most important is accepting the data from various network elements and systems, and dynamism in creating the KPI and analyzing KPIs, where a system give you drill down facility to the CDR level to analyze the data, and also advanced reconciliations, coming to the factor where a user wanted to apply his conditions in finding the leakages or reconciling between the sources, and followed by alerts, and there's a duplicate check. And to ensure the data integrity and data flow into the system, we do have a sequence check and gap analysis, In the process of gap analysis, the user can really define the threshold values of missing the sequence. Immediately while receiving the data into the system would notify the customer, I mean the user, giving alert through an SMS or an email, and also to give a complete assurance on the business. I can say, instead of, I can, let me name it as a business assurance. Even the rating, charging also should be there in the solution as a part of revenue assurance, and not much into the fraud related ones. Fraud maybe on the payments and the billing side you might require. We do have a complete rating assurance from the subscriber rating and also the partner ratings, where you can really look into those invoice disputes and come to a conclusion with the proper justification of your uh, invoices. So that's those are the features of our product. Where now I'll just quickly take you through uh, how our product looks. And this is a login screen where it's an intranet application where it can be accessed through a particular URL, and the login credentials and the privileges would be based on the user, what the user privileges, what is been assigned to the user. So I would choose admin as my users to get all the privileges in this product, and the system would land up on the main menu where uh, you can see the dashboards, the main modules of the system, mediation where you process the data from all your network elements, and there's a rating and reconciliations, KPIs, reports. There's an admin module and user management and many more, where alerts, alarms, schedulers are uh, you can start using them. So I'll start with users, where there are, the way it is designed is, first you will have a user groups, and for those user groups you assign the rights and privileges, like to view them, create, modify, delete. So, and it can be edited at any point of time. Okay, so you just have to check what the privileges that particular user group should contain. So once the user is created and the privileges are assigned, then you can just create users, choosing them into which group you really need to create this user. So once the user is placed in particular group, all the privileges assigned would be followed to that, I mean, would be assigned to the user. So users are created, and all the any screen in this product is accessed based on the privileges of the user. Okay, and
Okay.
now, pardon.
I said no. I said okay.
Okay. So next, I would take you through the mediation, where the system allows you to configure all your systems and network elements. This is more of in design and aligned for communication providers. Okay, and it's it would, you can just choose those network elements, and the vendor who has supplied those network elements and systems you can choose, and again you can segregate them based on your line of business, whether it's a GSM or fixed line, or as a CDMA technology or wireline, wireless. So you can group all your network elements based on your line of business, where if it's a big entity having multiple subsidiaries, having different entities of operations, but the solution can cater to all in one, in a single point. I mean to say, like, you can use application and provide solutions for all your line of business all at a time. Okay, so
Okay.
there's an once the network element is configured to accept the data of that network element, you can import the data format of it, and then once you import, you can choose things would be visible for you. Something like, this is a demonstrate for demonstration purpose. We do have we are displaying certain data only. See, assume on the left-hand side where I'm placing my cursor is actual format columns of the data, I mean, of the system which I'm configuring in the system. On your right hand side, you can just choose how many fields you wanted to extract from the original fields. In the regular CDR analysis perspective, you really don't use all 300 or 400 fields available in the CDR. You might require 100 or 150 max. So only you can choose them and start using in your system. So there's an option to choose and even change the labels as per your requirements, like user-friendly naming. All those are available there. So this is how the CDRs are accepted, and you can keep playing with the CDRs. And if there's any inclusion or exclusion, immediately you can start doing it without wasting time in the change request process. And once the CDR data is accepted by the systems, further you can still bifurcate them or segregate them based on the requirement at that point of time. For a better analysis purpose, you can just consider only certain fields which you wanted to analyze, and later you can keep modifying them. So I mean to say, like from 300 fields, you can choose 100, and again you can sort them out based on your requirements. So that means like you have a dynamism in reading the CDR formats, and you can keep changing them whenever it is required. Okay, even there's a data mapping where you choose the source and all the fields are displayed. You can set certain logics while receiving or reading the data itself, especially in the fraud management. If I have to check whether if I have to consider is there any frequent fraud activities on call sealing, maybe some SIM cloning. So I can choose those fields which I wanted to detect, set those values and logics here and map them so that the system would be considering these logics and apply them during processing the data, and immediately your alerts or alarms would be raised if there is any fraudulent activity detected in the system. And next, this is where the FTP configurations, where you assign your login credentials and from where data has to be received. Like it can be a near real-time data or also real-time data. System would accept it. A system has a mechanism of pulling data from your sources, or also it can receive if you are pushing the data into the system. So the process can be automated or manually can be initiated. So here, considering those preventing fraud, I would recommend that the solution, the system should get real-time data into the system where we can really prevent the fraud. So once the data is received, this is the screen where you segregate and distribute data into the optimal. So where we really consider the performance and the time consumption of processing data. So I cannot process data 24 hours without delivering reports. So everything should be done within the speculated timelines. 8 hours of working hours, like 8 hours. It should be data should be processed, reports should be extracted, and day-to-day delivery should be achieved from the system. To have those features in the system is designed in a such a way where the system accepts multi-processing activities in the system. So you can process all your sources and network elements all at a time, distributing data into various servers that you have in your system. So once the data is considered, and the final one is processing the data. So this is a screen where you choose all the elements are displayed, network elements are displayed, and you can start processing data where you have options processing it from the customer's location, or pulling the data and then process. Or suppose when I said, like I was saying, it is a cloud compatible based on the resources available and the servers, based on the load, the user can really distribute the processing data for this particular system. We having that clarity on the resources available in their data centers. So you can choose change an IP and change the path from where data has to be picked and processed. And if you just say, system would pick the data from that so that you really achieve that load balancing and optimal outputs from the system, not consuming more time in your day-to-day process. So which is a very key factor for the system performance. So the system is designed in a such a way like user can choose and balance the load on the systems. And also like if you wanted to perform rating, charging the calls immediately while processing the data itself, you have an option to choose, and maybe you can give the time delay to start the rating process, and even the audit is also displayed if you choose this option. Okay. Once you just say start, the system would show you the mediation is started. You can just see I'm highlighting on the cursor, and within there's another factor which uniquely we brought into this system is logs. And user should be knowing what is happening with the processes, and he shouldn't be under a dark area where he has no idea what system is doing. So you can see there's a RSS feed which really provides all the information what is happening for that process which has started. So if there are multiple processes started, the user really doesn't have to go check the logs from backend, spend his efforts to trace the logs and all. The system will pop up and display the feed on the screen itself for all the processes running in the system. So once the data is processed, you can have an audit of data which has been processed, and you can see how many files have been received, how many records have been processed, how many have been rejected. So this actually gives you in the perspective revenue assurance or fraud perspective, like you need to ensure all the data has been considered by the optimer or the revenue assurance. So this audit give you that opportunity to have a reporting mechanism from your switch team or a network engineering team to ensure data has been accepted by the system. So the audit is also available, and once yeah, this this completes the entire processing of the data, and the highlights of this would be the dynamism and the way we are doing mediation, which is really highlighted here is that the performance and the load balancing and the easy navigation and uh, user friendly for the user to play with any changes, or any modifications required. He really doesn't have to spend a lot of energy and time on the system. It is just available. You just have to configure and use it. And once that is done, I would just quickly run through the KPIs for your analysis purpose. And one more point in the system is the architecture and the design. It is a bit, I can say, it's an intelligent architecture. Any configuration missing in the system for any function or a process, if you really try to run or work on those modules, if it is not configured in the system will prompt you that that configuration is missing, and it will redirect to those screens where you need to configure them. For example, like if there is any switch name missing, or you are trying to process that data source, system would definitely take you to that screen saying that you please configure the switch name. So the system is intelligent enough to guide a user and is very user friendly also. So coming to KPIs, back to KPIs again, you can see you can add, you can choose, you can segregate them based on your revenue streams also. Postpaid, prepaid KPIs, or roaming KPIs, or interconnect KPIs. And also you can choose the sources which you wanted to create a KPI. And you can give the title and then keep saving it that KPI is saved. And also the system would give you option to choose the fields for KPI analysis. So suppose for this already existing KPI in the system, I have chosen 5 dimensions to analyze my KPIs. You can also choose and save it. Okay, update. So this KPI contains those fields. At any point of time, user can modify their KPIs because KPIs really need to be dynamic in your operations to have an effective solutions and outputs for the business. So the system is allowing you to have a dynamic KPIs and you can keep playing with the KPIs at any point of time. Even executing KPIs, you have a single source execution and also dual source execution where you can have a comparison between two sources of your choice. And the unique feature in this product is multiple KPIs, multiple KPI analysis. Like you from, as I said, like from switch to bill, you can have a complete set of KPIs displayed in one screen. So maybe I can just quickly show you one here, choosing one, two, or three for this particular demo. I would just choose the data which we have it here in our lab. That is February 2nd. Yes, it's very easy to navigate and execute. On the left hand side is the main source which you wanted to compare, and all these are the sources which you wanted to check the same KPI among all the sources. And there's an option to choose the dimensions at that point of time. If you wanted to change them, you can change instantly also. And once you say start, the system would give you the results for all the systems in one screen. So this actually gives the entire picture of your data flow from systems to systems and what is the performance of the systems for that particular scenario. You know, like you can see MSC Huawei versus this again. The MSC Huawei is one of the network elements, and this is the mediated data of it, and followed by other systems which you have chosen. So the dimensions you can see there's a count and total duration of each call type, origination, termination, even the SMS origination, terminations across the entire flow of the data in your operations. And again, as I said, it's very easy to navigate. The user, whenever he finds any variation in the data, immediately can start reconciling the data and he can come up with the missing data. That is, whatever leaks from the data processing from your operations can be immediately identified, initiating reconciliations right from the screen itself. So the user would have an option to set his own conditions and criteria to do reconciliations, choosing his own fields available here, and he can set up multiple conditions where if you wanted to, the start dates of the call should be equal. And once you start reconciling the data, system would be giving you all the reconciliations results in the form of reports, and it can be exported also. So this is how like the analysis is made very precise and detailed analysis, and also dynamic analytical approach which has brought into the system. And we do have, suppose at any point of time if user wanted to do reconciliations on an ad hoc basis or based on the requirements, you can choose the sources, two sources of any of his choice and the data, and you can also start reconciling the data separately, not only from your KPI analysis. So that is also available in the system. Okay. Now, once the data is processed and once you have an analysis of the KPIs, coming to the fraud detections, like you can configure all your alerts related uh, to detect all the frauds. You can choose the process. For example, like if you wanted to do while if you wanted to detect fraud related, any sort of fraud related activities in the mediation process itself, that is like processing the data itself, you can choose those module, and you can just check the fields which you wanted, and you can have a conditions equal to and you can set up those threshold values and choose all the users which you wanted to get alerts, and you can send it through emails and SMS and save alerts are configured, and system would be considering those alerts and execute those alerts whenever the threshold values are or whenever the system meets these criteria. So, as I said, like prevention of fraud uh, would be a challenge, but given a opportunity and if the system is really interfaced with real time with your network elements, so at least while the fraud is happening, we can detect and we can take precautions or preventive measures to avoid fraud. Even the alarms are there in the systems to provide alarms, and the schedulers for automating all the processes in the system, and which really like you can to to achieve more productivity from your team. So the users really doesn't have to sit in front of system and spend time processing data, finding alerts. Everything can be automated in the systems with these schedulers. So system will be doing its work, and the team and the users can concentrate on other activities, giving more productivity and being part in contributing towards the growth of the company. And there's an issue management where users can also log in the issues related to your respective operations, and you can track them to the closure. Okay, and you can just add assign to the so many users here what is the task and the issue is about, and what is the priority of it. And when you are tracking to the closure, you can just keep updating the status of that issue. So these are all additional features which are provided to make users' life easy and to be effectively operating. So that's about creating alerts. So all the scenarios related to fraud, the alerts can be configured in the system, and all you can get the notifications whenever there is a fraud activity detected by the systems. And finally, I would show you not final one, last but one. I will be showing the reports. How do we extract reports from the system? And I was speaking about the dynamism of the reports. See, these reports which are displayed here, it's more on a revenue assurance perspective. And if it is related to fraud perspective, like based on the requirements and the customization required, we would be displaying and make them available, ready to use without spending time on extracting the data. And also, for example, you just wanted to see call-wise report, you can just choose the source, and you can again aggregate them based on their local calls or international calls, and also outgoing, originating, terminating, or SMS, all the call types you can choose and choose the data. Let me just show you one report choosing originations for this particular set of data. Uh, that is, we just since this data is very sensitive, uh, we have certain very limited data with us for the demo purpose. And the template you can see is this is how it displays, and the template can be customized as per your requirements. And the fields to which you wanted to display also can be customizable. And for the user to have his own dynamism in extracting reports, we had given an option to choose the source and choose the fields which he wanted to show it in the report. So this is very this gives that dynamism in extracting and analyzing the data in the form of reports. So we don't limit the users. All the resource, all the network elements and systems are displayed, and the fields relevant to those systems will be displayed upon the selection, and the user can choose and set his conditions and extract the report. So this is how the dynamism is achieved here. And even the last one now would be the rating part, where as I explained, like it's a vast rating options are available, where you can set up the rating completely. uh, like we have designed the system considering various wide scenarios, uh, even on the geographical locations, like suppose if in India, how is the business telecom business in India? If it is Africa, how is the business going on there? So considering all those factors, the setup is made available in a wide and in a wide range, in fact. And also, like, the tariffs can be configured for subscribers and also for your partners. If you have any interconnect operations, you can choose your local partners, international partners, assign your tariffs to them, and even for roaming partners in case of service providers, I mean communication service providers. So, and even the customer, I mean the partners profiles also can be maintained in the system, where you can do rating, and you can do their invoice reconciliations. Usually, as per my experience, there is invoices always are under dispute. The partners' invoices would be under disputes. So you can achieve those assurance through our system, having information stored about the partners, and you can do pseudo rating, and you can publish, even suppose you can do pre-bill run also from our system, pre-bill rating of the CDRs, ensuring what is the revenue for your company. All those features are available. So again, this can be automated, as I showed, while processing the data from the systems itself. You can initiate rating the data based on the configurations what you have set up for that ratings scenarios. So there is a subscriber rating, and you can just choose. Uh, See, you can no mediation source from. See, now it is prompting me that there's no source configured for this source here. So that is one of the highlights I wanted to really emphasize on, where system is intelligent enough to prompt any missing parameter or a configuration in the system. So then the partner rating also, you can just choose you wanted to separately do for local partners, international partners, or based on the tariff plans you have set for those partners, or on a source wise, considering the source, or on a individual partner wise, or all at a time. So the system is really flexible enough to give you solutions related to rating. So even the final one would be even the roaming also, the roaming partners rating, the sources you can choose on the roaming partners, all the scenarios are considered. So this is in very briefly about Optimer, and we would really look forward to come and give you a face-to-face demonstration where we can really showcase and run through all the features live and live. Like we wanted to demonstrate face to face. Given an opportunity going forward, we would definitely come and do that. So that is about the product demonstration on a very high level.
Okay.
Okay. And as a company, Vekomi, and I was really saying our mission is to keep our customers happy in our services and solutions. So the
Well,
way we, pardon?
I'm sorry.
Yeah. See, there are various options in giving the offering our product to the customers. We go on, the first one would be on a licensing model, where uh, you can go with the product licensing, considering taking all the modules in the system. Based on the modules, the entire solution, we can come up with a product based licensing. And also in case of the telecom subscribe, I mean the telecom service providers, they go licensing on the subscriber base what they have. They wanted to spend money when they earn money. So if the subscriber base is increasing, so they would really want to cap on the subscriber growth. So in that case, we would go on subscriber based licensing also. And also, if you would prefer to have on a revenue stream based licensing, where if the revenue is more from prepaid sector, prepaid revenue stream, they would try to use only for prepaid revenue stream. So we do have a revenue stream based licensing also. And finally on the modules also. And initially, like, the architecture of this product, you can plug and play each module. Like if you just need only alerts or rating, only those can be deployed, and the licensing would be based only on the module of what you've been what you are using. So module based pricing is also available, and the system would give the same scalability and performance in spite you splitting and breaking the system into pieces. Systems performance really doesn't, and the deliverables doesn't affect when you go on a module based licensing. And other offer we have is something like we call it as a software as a service. This is something like where Vekumi would be giving you the complete software solution, hardware procurements, and even we can provide resources to you. And our resources would be involved, and they'll be delivering all those deliverables, which is on day-to-day basis. So it's like when you have a challenge in building your teams or any budget constraints, like we come and give you all the services and you just pay only monthly service charges. You really don't invest anything in upfront. It's like you take the service and you pay for that service. And this can go on a monthly base based on the services what you get. Sometimes customers and you would be ready to take up hardware or only you just need the resources and software. So we can just go, the prices would be varied based on those services what you are getting. And also on the ownership, suppose you just need only one module to be used and one module to be implemented, or the only solution needs to be implemented, and you take care of your own resources and deliverables. So we can go on the ownership of the solutions. It can be a monthly billing or an yearly billing also. Okay, and coming to the support, we would dedicate resources for you, especially for your operations and deliverables and services. You at your site, and also there'll be a dedicated team back at our office, working 24 bar 7 and 365 days in a year. So we wanted to uh, make those resources available at any point of time for any sort of services you would require. And any sort of changes, the functional changes apart from the day-to-day changes, that's how the system is designed. The user and the business really doesn't have to spend much on changing or the change requests. It is user friendly. Everything is available in the system. The user keep changing it. He's allowed to change it, and he can achieve all those changes which would happen in your as the business proceeds over a period of time. And any functional, apart from those changes, any functional changes you would request, there would be certain free changes which we would be delivering during annual maintenance contract, which we would agree upon. So there are certain free, and after crossing your, after redeeming all your free changes, there would be a minimum charges based on the effort involved in the change what you are requested. And also, since it's a product and there's a continuous enhancements and development going on here, any functional enhancements which we feel it has to be implemented in the systems, we would do those enhancements for free of cost during the contract period. Uh, and and the last one, at 360 degrees, I would say, like our resources and our contribution and our services for you do not restrict only for fraud management solution or a revenue assurance solution or whatever you are opted from us. We would be given an again you should allow us to look into those areas if given those opportunities and facilities. Our team, since we have all the experience about various systems and functionalities, we would really detect or identify any issues from your side, not only from RA and fraud management solutions, any operation, any system from your end, our team would be ready to provide you those identifications related to your operations or malfunctionings or any sort of activity. Our team would be very proactive in approach to identify those challenges and issues in fact. So this is how like we really wanted to extend our service, uh, giving you and keeping you satisfied at every point of time. And coming to the services, we can go on time and material based, where uh, particular deliverables are deployed in that speculated timelines, and we can start billing for that. And also on milestone based, where certain milestones are achieved and then we start billing. And also like that another model where we completely build, come and implement and transfer the knowledge to you, to your team, training, giving support. So based on that, then we can also go with that billing model. And the last but one is the of service which we wanted to give is, in fact, if you are ready to use our resources for your internal development or customization or enhancements on your systems, technology, business, consulting, our resources would be provided to you, and you can start using them as your resources. That facility is also available, and we would, this all is in the mode of we wanted to give best services to our customers. uh, this is all about our product offerings and services. So with that, I would just request maybe any questions from your side you can ask me
The only
related
thing
to
that I have from
this
my side is
product.
my colleague, who is really a decision maker, probably a decision maker on this, was running late and not able to attend the meeting. So he's going to get here in about a half an hour or so. And I will discuss it with him, and either one of two things will happen. Either I will come back to you and say we need to set up a demonstration for him because he's interested in seeing it, or he may say, you know what, let's set a call up later on. But I think I have to wait until I speak to him, who unfortunately did not make it on the call today. Because I know if he's interested, and I can tell him it's good, but I know he's going to want to see things on his own, whether that's face to face or whether that's another demonstration. I don't know, and will not know again until about a half an hour or so. So that's what I think the product is good, but again, the gentleman that really needed to be to take a look is not here.
Definitely, like we are open
Okay,
for
so
all.
that's what I'll do, because we're getting close to 11:30, which I have another phone call. So what I will do is I'll talk to him when he gets here, which again it should be in a half an hour, and I will shoot you a response as to whether he wants you to come on site or whether he wants to see another demo himself, and that's what I'll do.
Fine, no issues, John. We are open for it, and we are ready to demonstrate as many times we would need it.
Okay.
Uh, and if you have no questions, I just wanted, I have certain things which I wanted to clarify from your side.
Okay.
Okay, since I just went through your operations on a very high level, understood that you are into uh, calling cards, selling, and providing long distance calls to the customers in the US.
That is correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to actually fit my product and provide you solutions in which, like, just wanted to understand in which vertical and which operations you really need, you're looking our solutions. Is it related to
Well, that's what I'm
web?
talking about. My focus is really on the calling card side. And really, when you talk about credit card processing and e-commerce, that's really what my specialty is. The gentleman that was not here is on the carrier side, where we resell traffic and buy minutes and things of that nature. And some of the stuff that I saw is more catered to that than it is to actual processing credit cards and doing your due diligence on those particular things, while in tandem watching the calls, which that is also something that we do, where we do watch the calls, but it seems to me that that's more at the switch level from what you're talking about, and traffic analysis and the rating of CDRs and stuff like that. So that's at a totally different level. Again, that's why I came in when we said fraud management. I was assuming that we were talking about maybe e-commerce and payment processing. However, after doing a little bit of research, I wanted the other gentleman, as I said, who works in the switch area and translation in GNOC, in that particular area, to come in here and see it. So For me, I don't think that you have the particular product that's going to deal with e-commerce. You do have something that deals with CDRs, but it looks like it's at a much higher level than granular. Now, I don't know. That may or may not be the case. But he is the guy, again, that you need to speak about, or it looks like your product is more catered towards.
Okay. When you say about these credit cards processing and all, like I can just explain you, like the system for us, we just need data from your sources in any format.
Okay, so again, if that's the case, then what we should probably do is, I didn't see much in the demonstration as far as taking, particular payments, and probably maybe I missed it. I didn't see it where you were taking that, and I'm not sure what you mean by setting up the system to take it. And again, if there's something that I missed in the demonstration, you can certainly point it out. But again, the gentleman, based on what I saw from the demonstration, it seems that it's at a much higher level, not that granular. And that, much like I said, going to our switch and translation group, really deals with the unrated and rated CDRs and stuff of that nature, and watching traffic at a very, very high level. And maybe not, but again, that's the guy that needs to be part of this discussion. Now, if you have other things that cater to e-commerce, then that's a discussion where I would be the decision maker. On this particular one, from what I've looked at, I wouldn't be the guy that says, let's go forward with it.
All right, John.
Fine.
So you are suggesting like we wait for another half an hour for the other
I
gentleman.
don't. That's when he's supposed to get in, and that's when I call him. At that point, I'll respond to you. I don't know what his schedule is going to be. All I said is I'm going to respond to you and tell you whether he's interested in seeing a demo or whatever he wants to do. I can't speak for him. He should be here in a half an hour. That does not mean that he plans on getting on a demo
All right.
right now. You know what I'm saying? That's just for me to speak to him. And again, gentlemen, I appreciate it. Give me some time to respond back to you. But it's 11:30, and I'm already running late for another meeting.
All right. All right, John.
Okay?
Right.
Thank you
And
very, very much.
Yeah.
thank you, John, and thank you so much for all the opportunities. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, John.